Cbc Evening News.
And a very good evening to you. I'm Sophia Cambridge with this Sunday, September 3rd edition of the CBC Evening News. In our top story tonight, the government is not sitting idly by and ignoring the crime situation in Barbados. That assurance is coming from Prime Minister Frundle Stewart as he addressed the Democratic Labour Party's 62nd Annual General Conference at its George Street headquarters this morning.
Government's plan is geared at ensuring Barbados remains a peaceful society for all. While not revealing its full details, Prime Minister Stewart says law enforcement agencies will be specially equipped.
In the very short term, however, the government is focusing on aggressively confronting the problems, on specially equipping our law enforcement agencies, and on rationalizing the operation of our criminal justice system. The criminal element does not call press conferences or issue releases to announce when or where it will strike next. That criminal element relies heavily on the element of surprise. The state, therefore, in defense of its citizens and of its values, will make use of the element of surprise as well.
With Barbados recording 26 murders so far for the year, Prime Minister Stewart notes the crime situation did not occur overnight, and as such, there will not be an automatic solution. However, Mr. Stewart says there is a role for the society in the anti-crime fight.
Higher standards in our households, better examples in our communities, a more aggressive outreach from our churches, teaching and learning for good citizenship in our schools, and a politics that helps our young people to realize their dreams and their aspirations must replace the high-powered firearm as a symbol of personal power.
During his wide-ranging address, Mr. Stewart defended the party's performance since 2008 and its management of the economy. He also reiterated its commitment to social development.
Barbados is still here. The dire apocalyptic predictions of unraveling and destruction have not come to pass. The social services we ordinarily provide are still there. The economy has not collapsed. Our currency peg is still intact, and we are still paying our debts. All of this we have been able to maintain because we have pinned our faith on the good sense and maturity of the people of Barbados.
Mr. Stewart has cautioned the DLP candidates and party supporters to ready themselves for the general election, which is constitutionally due next year. Rianne Phillips, CBC News.
Thank you, Rianne. And many at-risk youth who face issues which hinder their personal development are more likely to get involved in gun violence. That's the assessment from local criminologist Kim Ramsey during a panel discussion on stopping guns from entering the island. She says increased levels of youth violence can be tied to the conditions in which the youth are being raised.
We have persons that are being raised in what I refer to as suboptimal environments. It's not the best environment to be raised in. They live in communities that are crime-ridden, where they're neglected, where they're exposed to a lot of violence within the home, within the community. And we all know that once you're raised in an environment, whatever type of environment, you are almost likely to be a product of that environment. So when you're seeing these things from a very young age, your solutions to violence are driven by what the community's solutions to violence. You're basically coming up in that environment where violence is what you know. It's just a learned behavior.
Well, Ms. Ramsey suggests the criminal justice approach to violence is not working, stressing the solution must come from the community.
We tend to be very reactive when it comes to violence. We cannot be reactive. We cannot wait. We cannot use band-aid solutions to violence. We cannot wait until the horse has already galloped out of the stable to then try to stabilize the stable. It does not work like that. We have to ensure that the stable is secure, that they cannot get out of the stable. And are we doing that? When we see When we see conditions in our environment, in our societies, we know who the persons who are at risk. We tend to hear people say, I knew he was always going to turn out like that. I knew I could see that he'd headed to prison. But what are we as society doing? Are we just waiting for the criminal justice system to pick them up when they get 13 or 14, when they become a problem to the state?
The National Insurance Scheme has not been restricted from making any additional investments in its external equity portfolio. NIS Director Ian Carrington revealed to the Barbados Workers' Union delegates conference why this has been so over the past 8 years. This, he pointed out, that accessing foreign exchange to do so is a major consideration.
That has had to do with the fact that we have not been getting the approval of the central bank for the utilization of foreign reserves, and that has to do with the fact of the state of the foreign reserve situation. So the alternative would be leave the money in the banking sector on a current account earning zero, or seek to invest it in the current economic space to get some return. The impact on that is 75% of our portfolio is tied up in the government of Barbados.
As of midnight tonight, gasoline, diesel and kerosene will be increased in price, while the prices of liquefied petroleum gas will fall. The new price of gasoline will be $3.25 per litre, up from $3.16. That's an increase of 9 cents. The price of diesel will move from $2.35 per litre to $2.46 per litre, while kerosene will now cost $1.19 per litre, increases of 11 and 10 cents respectively. In the meanwhile, the price of the 100-pound cylinder of liquefied petroleum gas will decrease from $155.89 to $155.31. The price of the 25-pound cylinder will move from $44.07 to $43.93, and the 22-pound cylinder from $38.95 to $38.82. The 20-pound cylinder will move from $35.41 to $35.29. We'll have more news in just a moment.
Come to Shoemark, where you can find a variety of school shoes. We have Puma, Hush Puppies, K-Swiss, and sneakers for sports. Come check us out on Palmetto Street, Bridgetown.
Viewers, please note that CBC TV8 will carry live coverage of the CPL games at the following times. On August 30th and 31st, 8:02 p.m. September 1st and 2nd, 9:03 p.m. On September 3rd, 6 p.m. to resume at 7:30 p.m. after the CBC Evening News. September 5th through 7th, 8:02 p.m. and on September 9th, 9:03 p.m. For more information, log on to cbc.bb.
I got $1 in my pocket. There ain't a cloud in the mud. I got a picture in a locket that says, baby, I love you. Well, if you didn't love them boys, that fella's don't go looking.
Well, just days before the start of the new school year, the country's lone all-male secondary institution is being hailed as the school of choice for many of our young men. It comes as parents, teachers, students, and even old scholars of the St. Leonards Boys School have over the past month been on the job, determined to improve the image of the school's aging first form block.
Senior teacher and incoming first-year head at the St. Leonards Boys School, Vincent Cumberbatch, says the school continues to promote initiatives geared at significantly improving its performance and overall image in a number of areas. His comments came in an interview with CBC about a project coordinated by him and supported by a council of parents to carry out $25,000 to $30,000 in repairs to the school's aging first form block.
We were able to get, to this extent, donations, sponsorships to paint all the classrooms, to change all of the classroom doors, to change damaged toilets within the bathroom, as well as sinks, doors to the bathroom itself. do a paint job right through the bathroom, paint the exterior walls of the classrooms, right? Power wash the building, clean and everything. Acquire a banner, a large banner that actually carries the same motto that I just highlighted.
That acronym is PACE, PACE, and it stands for punctuality, attendance, conduct, and education, areas the students will be expected to excel in. In addition, the project gave birth to a concept very dear to his heart.
In the concept called the inspiration stairwell. Now, you know, normally children would every day walk up and down stairs. So I remember at school there was a poem that I was placed on the top of my chalkboard in third form, and the poem was like this: heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they where their companions slept were toiling outwards through the night. So my vision was to make that become a practical thing and break that poem down into words, have the words printed on Perspex, and then placed on the face of each of those steps going upwards. So you can see the practicality of it. As the children step up those steps every day, they're actually living out that concept.
Head of St. Leonard's First Year Parent Council, Sonia Daniels, says she's been working around the clock to do her part in getting the job completed. She says the hands-on approach by Mr. Cumberbatch to his job as an educator is one which she believed no longer existed. It's been an inspiration to her ever since.
Coming from primary school into secondary school is never easy. And having a first-year head that is so interested and goes out of the way to make sure the kids are comfortable, it was pretty easy to get on board.
Old scholar and carpenter Ronald Drake says he got the call from the first-year head and just couldn't refuse.
When they came in, they saw the doors, they thought the doors there, they could repair the doors and just say, gone. And like 2 days I out. Not be here no getting 3 weeks. You understand? When they started conditioning, they said, no, this here can't work. And I been an old boy at this school. I said, nah, this can't just work. This can't work. So I went out and I asked a few people. I talked to 2 people, a guy from a company there, PNC, and he gave me a door, and then I asked another lady, and she gave me another door. He said, well, no, man, we still need about 7 or 8 more doors. So I went to a gentleman by the name of Ibrahim Adams, that he just sponsored me in my on the 3rd in cricket. He has a store there in Swan Street. I told him I would like about 5 doors. He told me, oh, okay. I tell him, what to do? Come down here, you will see the condition, and you will know then what I'm speaking about. He came, he looked, he said, no problem, and he gave me the 5 doors.
Yearhead Vincent Cumberbatch says it's all part of the school's larger strategy to promote excellence in everything they do.
Our prowess in the athletic area, in sports, football and cricket and all of that, our language department exploits in the area of Spanish and other things, our industrial arts, right, and our choir, and a lot of other things we've been doing over the years has sort of shown to the community that this school is on the way up.
It's a mantra he believes all schools should follow. Kareem Smith, CBC News.
Thank you, Kareem. Fabulous work by the St. Leonard's School team there, an inspiration for all of us to follow. Further afield now, North Korea carried out its most powerful nuclear test to date today, claiming to have developed an advanced hydrogen bomb, or H-bomb, that could sit atop an intercontinental ballistic missile. The bomb used in the country's 6th nuclear test today sent tremors across the entire region that were 10 times more powerful than Pyongyang's previous test 1 year ago.